So in my opinion, I would say that the assumption that simple operations take only one time step is rather unrealistic, because in a real computer, you have lots of differences between simple operations, and also loops such as ifs and whiles can take very different amounts of time depending on where and when they are executed. The second one, we have as much memory as we need. That might be debatable for some cases, given that memory is actually not that expensive anymore, but there's still lots of problems where you can run out of memory, and so that is still a real issue. So I would also say this is rather unrealistic. Memory access being free in terms of times, that is very unrealistic, because in a real computer, you really have to watch out what kind of memory you're using. So for example, if you're using registers in a processor, that is memory that almost comes for free, that's very fast. But when you have to read and write to your hard disk, that is going to take very long. So memory access being free is really unrealistic. Finally, a unit of memory not being able to hold an arbitrarily large number, that is very realistic, because your computer, depending on how many bits each unit of memory can hold, if it's 30, 32 or 64, there's always a limit of how much you can store in a single unit of memory, and then you have to go to the next one. So given that there's lots of unrealistic aspects for the RAM, why are we using it in this course? Well, there's basically two reasons. The first reason is that it's a very simple model to use, so if we had to consider all of those aspects as well, our analysis would get even more complicated than in the simple example. And the second thing is that when we are running or analyzing algorithms on the RAM, the general behavior of the algorithm, how it behaves on various inputs, and how the running time changes with various types of inputs, still is rather realistic, even though we're not really taking into account these aspects. So when you have to implement an algorithm, which is something that we're not doing in this course, then of course you have to take care of these things and see, for example, if the types of operations you're using is making your algorithm run faster or slower, or if you need to take care of memory.